I did an art walk market recently and I'm going to tell you everything about it. I'm going to show you videos of my booth and I'm going to tell you what sold and how much money I made. So in my town, every month they have what's called an art walk, and vendors set up booths outside of all the businesses down the main street. So this is a pretty large event and I've done this one lots of times, but I did it at a different location this time. So one of my friends owns a bookstore and it was the 1-year anniversary of the bookstore being open. So she invited some of her vendor friends to do kind of like a vending party there. So while it was Art Walk, it was also the 1-year anniversary celebration for the bookstore as well. One of my best friends was also vending there as well, so it was super fun to be sitting next to her and hang out with her during the market. So the Art Walk is technically from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., but I wanted to get a good spot in the shade, so I showed up super early so that I could get a spot in the front of the building and in the shade, because I burn so easily and I knew if I was in the sun that it would not turn out good for me. So I actually got there 2 hours early to set up, and I knew that it wouldn't take me that long to set up, but I figured I could just be set up early and maybe sell some things, and I did sell a few things before the event technically started. So I'll go ahead and put in the video of my booth before the market. Now, my booth may look a little bit crowded, and that is because I couldn't fit 2 tables in the space, so I ended up just using my small table and trying to fit most of the stuff that I wanted on there. So it's a little crowded. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because I actually had a friend tell me they thought it looked better like this with so many items on it. So I don't know. This is my booth before the market, and it is a bit crowded, more crowded than usual, because I was trying to fit everything onto one table. So I sold 2 items between 4 and 5, and they were both to the same person. So this guy got 2 matching mini octos, and they were both the green variegated. And so those are $10 each, so they were 20 total. Next, I sold one of my Loaf cats, which I was excited about. Recently, since I started making the tiny Loaf cats, the small ones have been selling a bunch, but I hadn't sold one of the medium or large ones in a while. So I was glad to sell this medium one. This was a tan variegated one with pink eyes, and it sold for $30. So between 5 and 6, I sold 2 items. The first one was the Loaf cat, and then the second was an Axolotl. This is the variegated pink one that's made with the mystical yarn from Bernat Blanket, and this one was $20. Now, by the time the event technically started, I had already made $70, which is amazing. It worked out super well for me to show up early like that. Next, I sold one of my small cats, and it was a tan variegated one, and that sold for $15. Next, I sold a Triceratops, and I believe it was my last one, so I need to make some more of those. And this was a green variegated one, and it sold for $15. And then I sold another small cat, and I forgot to write down immediately which one it was, but I'm pretty sure it was another tan variegated one, and it sold for $15. And then between 7 and 8, I actually only sold one thing. It was getting a little chilly outside, so I think that might be why less people were stopping by. So the last thing that I sold was a mini bunny with embroidered eyes, and it sold for $8. So that wasn't the best market that I've ever done, but it was definitely a fun one. I got to sit next to my friend and hang out with her, and I didn't have to bring my tent and the weights and everything, and so I just had to have the one table, and so it was a lot easier setup and breakdown than usual. And I actually got to do this event for free because my friend that owns the bookstore let us all do the event for free, which is super amazing. So in total, I made $115. So like I said, not amazing, but I didn't have a booth fee, so that was all pretty much profit. So I'm okay with that. Now, one of the things that I noticed that I didn't think about beforehand is that a lot of the people that were there seemed to be there more for the authors and the books than they were just for Art Walk, which I didn't really think about, but it totally makes sense. So there are a lot of local authors that were there and doing book signings, and so that makes sense that they would show up for that at the bookstore. But I wasn't really thinking about that beforehand. So quite a few people were kind of just there for the books and just kind of walking past my booth. But like I said, it was still fun and I'm still pretty happy with it. I do think moving forward, I'm going to go back to the old place that I used to set up for Art Walk. So hopefully I will be able to get into that for next month. And I know this vlog was pretty short, but I do have a lot of more markets coming up and quite a few more market vlogs coming out really soon. So if you want to see those, make sure you are subscribed. And then I will also put up a playlist here of all of my other market vlogs. I've done so many market vlogs, so you can watch those and check out some of my favorite markets and stuff. So over here, I will put up a video that YouTube suggests specifically for you. So I want to thank you guys all for watching, and if you've watched all the way to the end, please leave me a comment with a heart in the description so I know who watched all the way to the end. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.